Hello, everyone. My name's Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is November 2nd, 2022, and we have fireworks, all right? We said yesterday, hours, not days, okay? What was I talking about when I said hours, not days? I meant that the big move was upon us in hours, not days, okay? We were very close. Our momentum indicators showed us that. Our price action showed us that. Our DXY US dollar index currency price action showed us that. A lot of things pointed to a big move. And of course, people ask about the Fed meeting. You know, me, I just track price action. I'm a technical analyst. I'm not really concerned with the fundamental things, but it's not to say that those things don't play a part, okay? That's just not my method of analysis. And Young Dasa asks, what do you expect in the markets with the FOMC meeting today? My gut tells me we're in for more bullish momentum. And he happens to be correct because we seem to have gotten a huge bounce, okay, from the levels that we charted. So, you know, that stuff sometimes coincides with your technical analysis. And I don't know how it works or why it works, but it just so happens to work. All right. I know very little about the Fed, basis points, all that stuff. I just hear talk about it. So I'm just going to Google it really quickly. I'm going to Google it really quickly and see. So apparently it's come out that Fed raises benchmark rates by 0.75% for the fourth consecutive meeting to its highest ever at 4%. What does that mean for risk on assets? I have no idea. I know nothing about this. But again, I don't know how people trade on this stuff. I've been trading the charts and just the charts. Is this bullish or bearish for Bitcoin and stocks? I have no idea. So let's go into Twitter and find out. Guys, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a great whatever day it is, Wednesday. And I'm excited. I'm really excited because today we finally got our move. And I think this is the beginning for us ripping to the upside, okay? Look at this DXY, okay? Just like we charted that we were in some kind of wave 4 correction. And we charted that it was likely that we got rejected at this level right here. And that's exactly what happened. We formed a reversal pattern at that level, rounded top, right? And big rejection, and it looks like we're going to continue to the downside. Of course, we know that if the DXY rejects, if the DXY goes down, Bitcoin risk on assets go up. So this is beautiful. This is exactly what we want to see, and we can see this continue all the way down, okay? Again, breaking down below this support of 14 years. That was essentially resistance of 14 years, which is everything we want to see. Everything we want to see on the short time frame, everything we want to see on the high time frame. So we should expect, likewise, for Bitcoin and risk on assets, you know, the DXY, or sorry, Bitcoin dominance to go crazy, you know, to break down, and essentially for the SPX, which I don't know why I don't have up. Do I have it up? I do not have it up. Let's just pull up the SPX really quickly. Let's do that real quick. So yeah, we should expect the SPX to break up, you know? So all these things, they just are consistent with our analysis, right? Our technical analysis. But a lot of times when you do technical analysis, good technical analysis, fundamental analysis seems to corroborate it, right? Good luck trying to trade speculative kind of pronouncements by the Fed or somebody else that you think has leverage on the markets. Good luck trying to trade that. But, you know, we can trade charts, we can measure things. That's why I trade charts. That's why I don't pay attention to what's said in the news or by the Fed, whatever. I don't care. If my analysis is correct, you know, it'll just go along with whatever is happening in the world. So This person, Layla Hatoum, I have no idea who this is, says U.S. Fed raises benchmark rates by 0.75%, 75 basis points for the fourth consecutive meeting to its highest ever at 4%. The Fed Res Open Market Committee is still swimming in dark waters. Again, what does that mean? Emperor and BTC says, okay, that's 9 hours ago. Let's just search this because I have no clue. Let's see. Young Dasa says, this will be the boost. We were looking to the upside. Look at DXY dumping accordingly. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Let's look. FOMC crypto. Let's just search because I literally have no clue. You know, I spend all my time focusing on charts and reading charts and stuff. Let's see. Okay. So these people are saying bearish. I mean, yeah, people are saying it's bearish, but that was charts. Okay. Does anybody have? Okay. This is okay. RV Crypto says FOMC meeting today. All you need to know: 75 basis points hike, nothing happens. 50 basis points hike, everything moons. End. Okay, so apparently the higher, if it's really high, I guess that's interest rates are increasing. That would mean they're trying to combat inflation. So I still don't understand it. I'm sorry. If anybody understands, you know, feel free to explain. But I don't understand what any of this means. Okay, so Crypto Chase says, when I think about FOMC, I think about liquidity. Previous FOMCs often run liquidity in reverse or Darth Maul, etc. Will most likely long a sweep of the equal lows on Bitcoin as long as data comes out as predicted, aka 50 to 75 BPS hike and not a 100 BPS hike. Okay, apparently the higher the hike, the more bearish it is on risk on assets on crypto. So 50 to 75 is what most people were expecting, and so that's kind of like nothing to report here. Like, and maybe that's bullish. I have no idea. But again, there's a reason this doesn't enter into any of my speculation of my work, right? I'm a professional trader. I don't look at any of this shit. I just trade charts, and there's a reason for that. You know, because that's what I know. I know nothing about those other things, and those other things haven't proven to be consistent, right? Even as indicators. Amazing Videos of the World says, need an altcoin analysis. Will this will be the biggest altcoin season? Yeah, I think so. All right, so let's get into our regular analysis. I just wanted to entertain that just because a lot of people are talking about it. So, you know, might as well mention it. But again, as you guys know, I'm a technician, and that has nothing to do with technical analysis. Now, back to technical analysis, Bitcoin, altcoins, all that stuff, right? Let's give the people what they want. By and large, like, we're getting a big move up, okay? We're getting a very, very strong move up in the market. You know, why am I saying big and strong move, even though it's just started and we haven't pumped 100% or anything like that? I'm talking about the nature of this move right here. You can see this is extremely bullish. It is a straight line up, okay? It's not like, you know, there's just a straight line up. This is on the hourly time frame, and it's just really strong, really impulsive, okay? Again, as I've been saying, this move was something that we've been waiting for, all right? Let's get rid of the momentum indicator because we saw this correction, okay? And again, it's a running flat correction. It's complete. And after that correction, you got 2 degrees of AB basing, okay? This is A wave. This is maybe the B wave. This is another A wave. This is your second B wave. And boom, okay? Again, our analysis really gives us a good understanding as to what price action is doing. Okay, you have your running flat correction, which is bullish, 2 degrees of AB basing, then you get your move resuming this uptrend. Okay, and now let's zoom out a little bit, and just regular basic support and resistance, you can see that this is a really strong move at a really crucial level of support. What's the level of support? It's the neckline of this previously broken resistance turned into support with this running flat correction. And so the target is going to be the height of this, okay? This has been our analysis for, let's see, for weeks, yeah? Since we broke this, for weeks. It's been our analysis for weeks, because, let's see, we're in November. Yeah, this has been our analysis for weeks. So this is not surprising, okay, that we're making this move. It's just, again, as I said yesterday, time is a big issue in trading. You're waiting and price is just going sideways. You have no idea what's going on. But the whole purpose of trading, and I'll say this again, the whole purpose of trading is to figure out what price is doing when it's doing this stuff, going sideways, going up and down, in correction. Everybody who sees this knows what's happening. Everybody who sees this kind of knows what's happening. Everybody who sees this knows what's happening. That's easy to trade, but it's not easy to, it's easy to trade more, it's easy to speculate on, let's say that. It's easy to know, oh, it's going down, oh, it's going up. But actually, once you start breaking out, let's say you're not paying attention and you're all the way up here, it's risky to enter these trades because, you know, price doesn't go up in a straight line. So the best traders, the best market speculators are able to read this with a high degree of probability, okay? High degree of accuracy. They're able to read corrective price action and understand where price is more than likely to go impulsively after it's gone through a corrective mode. Okay, and that's exactly what we did. We said this was an intra-wave correction. This trend would continue. This was likely the complex wave 4 correction of this move. And once we got out, we would continue the move up. And we even said we're going to continue to move up very likely as high as 25K, which is now our target. So again, good technical analysis does wonders. It does wonders, and it pays the bills. It's just, it takes time. It takes time to learn, and it takes time to execute. So Young Dasa says, I totally agree with you. The charts are where it's at, and fundamentals are not all that. Really not. I mean, fundamentals insofar as, like, you're not buying a Ponzi scheme, or you're not buying something that's going to disappear the next day, right? That's important, obviously, right? You want to do your due diligence. You don't want to buy something that's, a fly-by-night operation. But insofar as you trying to figure out when to how to trade something, like, you know, what price to buy, what price to sell, I don't understand how people do it based off of news. I just don't get it. Amazing Videos of the World says, Bitcoin 6-month chart analysis needed. We have fresh bearish engulfing candle on 6 months chart. Please, I need your analysis. 6 months? Come on, bro. 6 months chart? I've done this, technical analysis thing for maybe 600 days in a row without taking a break. Have you ever seen me pull out the 6 months chart? I don't even pull out the year-long chart. The longest chart I pull out is the monthly chart, man. Like, and you know my Bitcoin analysis. I've talked about it a ton. I'm just gonna go through the regular analysis, but yeah, I'm not gonna look at the 6 month chart. That's I don't know what that does. In any case, I mean, this asset's only 10 to 12 years old. Why would I look at a 6 month chart? I get only a handful of candles. It's hard to do any serious analysis on a 6 month chart. That's like saying, let's pull out a 10-year chart, right? It's like one candle, you know? Anyway, so we got Bitcoin going up. We got our DXY going down. It's perfect, you know? This is our thesis on this channel. Whatever the DXY does, Bitcoin will do in reverse, okay? So if the DXY is dumping, in a wave 4 complex correction. Bitcoin's going to pump in a wave 4 complex correction. That's almost exactly what we see. Okay? Now, Bitcoin's great, and some of us trade Bitcoin, but most of us trade altcoins, because altcoins are where the money's at. I mean, Bitcoin's where the money's at as well, but altcoins really where the money's at. Okay? So I'm going to look at did I talk about the SPX? Yeah, I noticed. I mentioned the SPX, and the SPX also looks great, by the way, for my traditional asset traders, right? You were in this nice little complex correction, and eventually, here, you're forming this inverse head and shoulders, right? Which should you break out of it, this top should be your target. So everything in risk on assets looked bullish, and we didn't need a FOMC meeting to tell us that we were there. We were on that path because we're in a clear uptrend, and this is a clear intra-wave correction. So whatever was said in that meeting, as far as I'm concerned, if I'm trading the SPX, which I don't trade, but I trade crypto exclusively, but if I was trading this, I would obviously be long. Obviously, no question. All right, so we've gone through DXY, we've gone through the SPX. Let's go through our watch list. I mean, this looks great. This is exactly what we wanted to see. And we're finally getting it. And it's November, and we're just now leaving 20K after, in November. But it's okay, patience. Good trading sometimes requires more patience than you even imagined. So yeah, we're patient. So Cardano looking great. Once again, you have this move. It looks like your wave 1, wave 2 situation was down here. You come all the way up here for a wave 3, wave 4 situation. Kind of like Bitcoin, you have this complex wave 4 correction that is a bit more sharp or a bit more deep than a regular wave 4 correction that only takes you between the 236 and the 382. That essentially means that you have a leading diagonal. Okay, so pattern analysis would tell you that this is your target. Okay, something like this, right? And then obviously our Elliott wave analysis is wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4. You take waves 1 through 3, retracement of wave 4, target at least the 1618 of wave 5, and you probably get the same thing. Okay, so these are bullish things. That's why we've been in longs for the greater part of 6 months. It's just been a longing thing. And of course, this is the major pattern that this asset, Cardano, has been in for past 170 days, where you've put in 2 degrees of AB basing. So actually, instead of just being a conservatively targeting this level, I would say that this extended wave 5 is coming to the top of the channel, all the way here. Okay, not surprised at all if Cardano puts in a good 57-60%. Okay, so that is Cardano. And guys, this is happening fast. Like most of the time, back to Bitcoin for a second, most of the time, the market is going to be in correction, in consolidation. The smallest bit of time, it's going to be impulse. But you have all this time to figure out what the market's doing. And then once it's an impulse, you should have already figured out what it was going to do, because trying to get in on these trades is tough. And even practically speaking, if you're trying to trade on leverage and enter in the trade, like physically enter in the trade, manually enter in the trade and press that button, sometimes it doesn't work because the price is moving so quickly. So like the idea of people saying, oh, I'm going to wait. You literally sometimes can't even get in trades when the price is going impulsively. Or sometimes the exchanges break down, or, they shut down because, there's too much activity. So most of the time, prices like this, prices like that, the you know, the smaller the other part that's a lot less, it's in this impulsive price action, and in that smaller period of time, maybe 10% of all the time elapsed, it goes 90% of the distance. So I don't know if this is correct. I don't know the math, but I'm just giving an example. 90% of the time, price is going sideways. And it moves 10%. 10% of the time, price is going up or down, and it moves 90%. That's the infuriating thing about trading. That, you know, people who don't have patience, people who don't appreciate reading, coming in every day, reading and understanding price action. This is why they lose, and this is why they can't do it, and this is why it's not easy. Because if it was, if we just went up forever, and, you know, we spent 50-50, then, I mean, I don't know if the markets would work, to be honest, because everybody would make a killing, and you wouldn't have to develop any skill to do so. Okay, so we talked about Cardano. Let's talk about Polkadot. Same thing. I won't be surprised if Polkadot comes all the way back up here to the top of this range, kind of what Dogecoin did, right? Dogecoin actually went to the top of the range and broke it. Okay, I won't be surprised if that happens, actually. So I said in Cardano, I won't be surprised if it comes to this. I'd actually expect it to break this, retest it, and then continue. Okay, like, these moves to the upside, and I've been saying this for months, are going to be higher and faster and stronger than most people think, than we expect. It's just, that's the nature of bull markets and bear markets, actually. That's just the nature of impulsive price action. It goes up more than you thought. It goes down more than you thought. And, you know, why do we not know? It's because this is extension, right? Price extension. When you're dealing with price extension, we can say that, okay, if you zoom in and you just use your analytic skills and take waves 1 through 3, retracement of wave 4, and say, well, the minimum extension is 1618 for an extended wave 5. That is correct, technically correct. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to stop at the phi ratio, right? We've been seeing a lot of these breakouts target the 3382, actually. That's why I have it on the chart. And people who know, you know, when we looked at Dogecoin, went to the 3382. So I wouldn't be surprised if that extended wave 5 went all the way to the 3382, again, came back down, retraced, and then continued. So that's why we don't know. You know, people say, well, don't you know where it's going to go? You know, doesn't technical analysis tell us how high? Not necessarily, because it's an extension, okay? And extended waves can move as high as they want, okay? So we looked at Polkadot, same thing, right? Take waves 1 through 3, retracement of wave 4. Okay. And this is clearly a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4 situation. It's not a wave 1, wave 2 situation. We just know that almost for a fact because of the time it took for this consolidation and this impulse, right? They're not the same. It took a lot longer in this consolidation than it did in this impulse. So you know that they're not a wave 1, wave 2 situation. You know wave 2 was down here somewhere. This is wave 3, wave 4. If this is an impulse, which it looks like it is. I'm thinking it could also be a zigzag, but I think this is impulsive. Okay, if we take our volume indicator, well, the volume is going to show either way. Either way, the volume is going to show a lot of volume. Again, the 3382 is is a likely target, but you know, it can go anywhere because it's impulsive. So that's pretty much what we're seeing throughout the market. Ethereum also in a type of wave 4 complex correction, right? I've been saying I expect $2,000 to be the next target, but I think that's a bit conservative. I think that we're going much higher than 2,000. We may hit 2,000 and then briefly do an intra-wave consolidation, but I think we're going much higher in the short term even. Okay. Reserve rights, I think you're coming all the way up here, at least, right, to like 1.3 cents, something like that, before retesting this channel top right here. But I said this in the video title. There's a top altcoin that's already broken out. Litecoin broke out earlier this morning, or late last night, or sometime. When was it? Yeah, earlier this morning, Litecoin broke out. So again, it's not always so mysterious. You know, you see a top asset like Litecoin, right? It's a top 20 coin. Break out. Do you really think that Bitcoin's going to dump? Do you really think that everything else is going to dump? Doge broke out earlier, right? Now Litecoin, you know, everything else is going to follow. So that's kind of what I was hinting at by saying, you know, this top asset broke out. Like, what do you guys think is going to happen with the rest of them? Amazing Videos of the World says need MFT analysis. All right, let's add that to the list. MFT. I have no idea what that is, but we can analyze it all the same. Okay, so we looked at reserve rights. So yeah, this is volatility. This is the definition of volatility. When things are just going and they're really like, they're going up and down and they're really like volatile, right? That's the definition of volatility. Things are really going quickly, you know. You know that impulsive price action is here when you see a lot of volatility, because the last wave of every corrective move is always impulsive. So even if it, you know, if it's impulsive in a correction, you know that that correction is finishing out because of that impulsive move. Okay. Synthetics. Again, you know, we've been looking at the same thing for a few days, but the same thing, right? You have this move which seems impulsive. You got a wave 1, wave 2 situation, wave 3, wave 4 situation. You've got a wave 5 that's just getting started. So I think this is a leading diagonal, okay? This is leading diagonal that's still forming, but it's about to break out as this wave 5 goes into wave 3 of its wave 5. As this wave 5 goes into its wave 3. Okay, so I think that's what you're seeing. You're clearly experiencing an uptrend from here, okay? And again, just doing the pattern analysis, this is an inverse head and shoulders, okay? So you don't have to overcomplicate things. You know, Elliott wave theory is great, but sometimes it's just as easy enough to look at the pattern analysis and then trade it like that. The issue is, though, don't be surprised if you exceed this target, right? You hit this target, you consolidate, and then you keep going up. And that Elliott wave analysis would tell you why, and would give you the overall high time frame analysis as to why that was, right? But then, you know, the limitations of pattern analysis are just that, you know, a regular amateur trader is going to take profit there and lose money because they don't know that it's just a trend that's going, and you don't want to get in the way of that impulse. Okay, so this is why kind of, you know, use both. Of VRA, as we said, this is very, very, very clear corrective price action. This is a clear zigzag, a 5-3-5, which is basically just starting to break out in a leading diagonal pattern. But this is taken forever, so it is not a wave 2 situation. It has to be a B wave of some sort, and then a B wave transitioning into a leading diagonal. But yeah, Zilliqa, just a lot of corrective price action here. Nothing impulsive yet, right? This is I don't think this is impulsive. It could be. It could be. Doesn't matter. You're getting 5 waves up. Okay, whether it's impulsive or corrective in a zigzag, you're getting 5 waves up. It really doesn't matter in terms of where the price is going and where to set your stops, because in both cases you're dealing with the phi ratio as a retracement level that you don't want to go beyond. Ravane, looking bullish. You're at support. You put in a move, you put in a counter move, you know what comes next. Kadena, same thing, at support. You put in a move, you put in a counter move, you know what comes next. At support, in correction, but going into impulse. All right, we talked about Litecoin already. It's gone into 1, 2, 3, 4, right? This is the beginning of its expanded or extended wave 5, okay? So this is an impulsive move that Litecoin's in. Okay, Dogecoin, as we said, don't be surprised if we go like this and come back down to retest the top of this channel. Okay, and we can even tell how long it's likely to take. If this was a wave 1, all of this, let's see from here. If all this was a wave 1 situation, right? It took 5 days to go all the way up there. Okay. It's going to take around 5 days to come back down, right? Because if that was wave 1, wave 2 is going to take also the same amount of time. So we can anticipate that Dogecoin dump a good amount, maybe like 38%. No, sorry, maybe not 38%. From here, it would be, yeah, maybe 30%, something like that. A 30% drop in Dogecoin between now and tomorrow, November 3rd. After which, it starts up again, okay? This is the power and the beauty of Elliott Wave, telling us, okay, after wave 1, you get wave 2, intra-wave correction, right? Between the 0.5 and the 618, typically. A nice sharp correction, and that's what we're getting here. This is definitely corrective price action. 3 waves down, 3 waves up, pivot, and then 5 waves down. So that's what we expect in Dogecoin. Meanwhile, the rest of the market should be going up, by the way, okay? And then some people are going to tell you, see, I told you Dogecoin was shit, or Dogecoin was a scam, or Elon's dumping on everybody. Like, people always have different narratives. When they can't explain or understand something, they come up with a narrative, right, to make it make sense. So that's what you hear. Dodo, very clearly, corrective move. Oops. Corrective move, counter corrective move. You know what comes next, okay? That can be a wave 1, wave 2 situation, but I don't think it is. Okay, Algorand, it's been in this wave 5 correction, but in wave, maybe wave 1 and 2. Maybe this is a wave 1, wave 2 situation of that wave 5. Okay, and again, this is an extended wave. We know it's an extended wave. Why? Because this is a leading diagonal. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, retrace beyond the 382 of wave 3. Okay? So you know wave 5 is going to be extended at the minimum to the phi ratio, the 1.618 of waves 1 through 3 retracement of wave 4, but we don't know how high, okay? So that's just a placeholder right here. It can go much higher, okay? That's algo. Telcoin. Telcoin, this to me maybe a wave 4. Let me just see something. So I might enter this trade on spot in a minute. I'm seeing that as 5 waves. Here, let's measure that. Let's measure that. So if this was wave 1, took about 2 days. Then wave 2 took 2 days. Okay, so that's, you know, that was my hunch. This is a wave 1, wave 2 situation right here. Right here. Wave 1, wave 2. Actually, let's... 1 second. We have to... So that's... Time is okay, but let's make sure price is okay as well. Now, it can't be wave 1, wave 2 because, look, you see that. It came all the way to the 786. It breached the 618. But is that possible in a leading diagonal? Yeah, but does it look like this? No. Typically, if you're breaching the 618, it's corrective. Let's just try something. Let's see. Yeah, I don't like it for that. Okay. I think that your impulse starts here. Okay. And that's wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, extended wave 5. Okay, so that's what I see in Telcoin. I really like that count. Let's just put it up. Something like this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, running flat right there. And then 5. Okay. So if you were to take this, you know, I just don't like... Okay, this all has to be wave 3 right here because you can't get an extended wave 3, or it's very unlikely to get an extended wave 3, which this would be, and then turn around and get an extended wave 5. You know, that just doesn't happen. It's very, very, very rare, exceedingly rare, if never happens. So I think what happened was you got wave 1, wave 2, wave 1, wave 2. All of this is wave 3. Wave 4 was a sharp, deep correction, right? And now you're looking for wave 5, which should give you something like this, like regular wave 5. Okay, so if wave 3, if that's wave 3, then we should be able to just project wave 5, and wave 5 should be a regular wave 5. It should be wave 3, retracement of wave 4, and then targeting the 618. It shouldn't be that... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. You know what? I do want to trade this, but what I'm going to do, and let's look at the momentum indicator. Yeah. I don't see this going I'm not 100% on this count. I'm not 100% on this count. But I feel like it should take some time to settle down. Let's try and look at the pattern analysis. Let's just look at the pattern analysis. Let's go on H4. Okay, so the pattern analysis tells us what? Okay, by the pattern analysis and just regular support and resistance, I can see why we came down and retested this level, right? Because this was broken as resistance, retested as support. Maybe we do it again before continuing. Unless there are 3 waves in this. But I can see that. And basically what I expect is for us to, once this is finished, whatever it is, continue all the way up here. Or at the very least to this level. Sorry. To this level. But even higher, I think, would be appropriate. And that would be at least the height of this. But yeah, it's tricky. I'm gonna do one last thing and then I'm gonna move on. Let's see if we have our requisite 3 waves here. It looks like we do. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a 3-wave correction. And it seems like it's complete. And what you would want to see after that, obviously, is a series of AB bases. So 2 AB bases before a big move. So I think whatever this is, it's complete. And again, like I said, I can see us moving up from here, from these levels at least. But I think that you're going to put in a little bit of AB basing before moving up for Telcoin. That's my best read. So much activity. So much activity on the charts. Going up and down and up and down and up and down. Be very careful. This is, the volatility is here. The volatility is here. Even though you know the general direction that the price or price action may take, be very careful because these volatile times is when people get stopped out, wicked out. Because, you know, sometimes it's like a corrective move just finishing up and then, you know, price continues the opposite way. XRP. Okay, I see us keeping this level. What do I see? Okay, so I see that this was our initial break of structure right here. I don't know, I can't draw here. Here. Our first degree of AB basing, or if no, that was A. I think this all was our second degree of AB, or our first degree of AB basing, and then right here it looks like we're putting our second degree in right now before moving up. Okay, but I do see us holding this level right here as an AB base, right below this rising wedge. I do not believe that this rising wedge is going to break down all the way here. because I think that this is kind of part of a leading diagonal in some way. Okay, and if I had to count it, I would say that this is wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4. Okay, and I think this is part of the wave 4, complex wave 4 correction. This AB base right here is part of this complex wave 4 correction, and then the pop out, the big move, is going to be wave 5 of this leading diagonal in XRP. That's my best read. I don't know if that's correct, but I think that is accurate. And so this is why I think we haven't broken down more, because typically what happens, a rising wedge breaks down to where it started. That's just something that you always see. But why have we not broken down completely? It's because this is, strange as it seems, an impulsive move. And if you take your Fibonacci retracement level, maybe from here or maybe from here, I'm not exactly sure where to start it. But you'll see that the phi ratio is respected. Okay, maybe it's down here, maybe it's down here. Either way, you can see that the 0618 is respected. And I don't think that's an accident. So that's my best read. Is it correct? I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, that's my best read on that. Something similar is going on with Dent. I think you're seeing a lot of similarities throughout these markets, right? I think that once you got here, you got a wave 1, wave 2 situation over here, okay? And then you went into wave 3, a complex wave 4, and this all is a leading diagonal. And so kind of like XRP, you're looking for that extended or expanded wave 5. And a lot of markets are kind of showing that, like preparing for an extended or expanded wave 5 breakout. Okay, after starting in leading diagonal, and a lot of markets are currently just getting out of this complex wave 4 correction. So that's what I'm seeing in Dent as well. MFT, I don't know. This is like my first time looking at this, so let's just zoom out. Let's go on the weekly. See if what we can see. Okay. On the weekly time frame, okay, we don't know what's happened if before this, but it's fine. Judging by what we have, I think it's safe to say that this is a wave 1, 2, let's see. This is an impulse. Okay, that's the first thing. That this is an impulse, impulsive move. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I see waves 1 through 3 is relatively normal. Waves 1 through 4 as well, it's relatively normal, and then extended or expanded wave 5. And then I see all of this as being a zigzag, a WXY. Okay, so that was the bear market for this asset. And then the consolidation reversal is quite bullish, because it literally, instead of having a consolidation reversal that looked like this, right, which most assets have, it's horizontal consolidation reversal, this consolidation reversal, kind of like what you saw in QNT, happened making higher highs. That's quite bullish. But you can see that this started in May of 2022, okay, and that May 12th is when most of our altcoins hit their orthodox lows, and then started a series of AB basing, a series of 2 AB bases, and this is not any different. Although, again, the whole range is slanted. It's the same thing, essentially, and you're at support of the range, and you're looking to break out. So that's the high time frame analysis. On a smaller time frame, it looks as if... Let's just read the 2 degrees of AB basing real quick on the daily. Hate stray marks. Okay, so again, you have your May 12th orthodox low. This is, I think this is your A wave. This is your B wave. That's your first degree of AB basing. This is your second degree A wave. Okay, this is your first. Oops. This is your first degree A, first degree B, second degree A. Second degree B, I think, goes like A, B, C. So it's a running flat, very bullish. And then I think what you have here is a kind of pivot, right? So again, if you zoom into this, you should see 2 degrees of AB basing again. So let's do that. Let's go on the 4 hourly. Yeah, okay. So I see. No. I see this whole thing as the initial breakup structure, the big A, targeting wave 4 of the previous trend. And then this is the big B. And then you have a small A wave. And then a small B wave. And I think what you put in here was your first impulse. Right here. You had a kind of leading diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. So again, here's that example that we've been looking at. The leading diagonal leading into an extended wave 5. I think that you got that here. Let's measure. But I think this is still a 3-wave move. And reason being, your retracement came all the way back down to the 786 to 886 region. So, that's a flat correction. So whatever this is it's a pivot. So you still haven't gone fully impulsive. But high time frame, you're at support, right? High time frame, you're at support. And it's tough to say, I've said this a million times, it's tough to say when these AB bases are completely finished being corrective and you're finally going into a pure impulse, right? Sometimes you get 2 degrees of AB bases and a pivot. Sometimes there's no pivot. Sometimes there's a couple pivots, right? Who knows? But yeah, that's my best read on this. But I would just trade it, if I had to trade it, using basic support and resistance, which would find this region right here to be a support region. So I'm at support. So this is a good trade. On the smaller time frames, really, it becomes a lot more risky, a lot more challenging to trade for obvious reasons. Otherwise, I mean, that's a pretty obvious, buy support trade. Let's see. So Young Dasa wants to look at Zcash. Let's look at Zcash. Okay, so we'll do Zcash and then we'll call it a stream. I gotta go pick up my son. Zcash is looking great. Okay, you got your bounce. You know, we've looked at this before, so I'm not gonna rehash the analysis, but you've got your bounce from support in this move right now, right here. That is a really good sign. Okay, that's what you want to see. So I think this is off to a good start. On the 4-hourly time frame, you can see you're putting in a nice rounded bottom. Right here. Whoops. Nice rounded bottom here after 5 waves down. So yeah, it's looking great. Looking great. This is support, you know. This is exactly what you want to see. A bounce at support. A bounce at support, rounded bottoms. Every time you're at support, you're getting a rounded bottom and you're bouncing up. And eventually what you're going to do is bounce up and never look back because you're going to be in a bull market, right? And your momentum indicators showing you that you've got, you're cross bullish and you've got a lot of runway to the upside. So Zcash is looking good. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Hope this was helpful. Hope this was useful. Like, share, and subscribe. Have a wonderful day, wonderful Wednesday, and we'll talk tomorrow. Bye.